Hello, and welcome to Griefcraft. Today we have a story originating in Western philosophy regarding the power of faith and fear, as well as touching on the importance of remembering the base value beneath what we consider ethical behavior. I'll read the story first, then share some reflections. Take a quiet moment. Let yourself settle as we move through it together as one. The magic squash. A merchant bought a large harvest of squash to sell at the market. He loaded his cart and prepared for a profitable week. But that morning, a rumor swept through the town. Squash causes cholera. No one knew where the rumor started, but fear spread faster than facts. By midday, no one would touch the squash. The merchant's entire investment sat rotting in his cart. Desperate, he went to a monk at the edge of town. "I'll be ruined," the merchant said. "No one will buy my squash. My family will starve." The monk looked at the cart, then at the merchant. "Leave them with me. Come back at sunset." The merchant, having no other option, agreed. The monk took the squash to the busiest corner of the market. He set up a small table and placed one squash on a silk cloth. Then he sat in meditation beside it. People walked past, curious but cautious. Finally, someone asked, "What are you doing?" The monk opened his eyes. "I'm blessing this squash. It's been touched by prayer. These squash don't cause cholera. They cure it. I've meditated over each one. They're sacred now." Word spread faster than the original rumor. By afternoon, people lined up to buy the blessed squash. Some wanted protection. Some wanted to cure sick relatives. Some just wanted to feel like they had control over the disease spreading through town. By sunset, every squash was sold. The merchant returned to find the monk counting coins. The monk handed him the money. "But you lied," the merchant said. The monk smiled. "Did I? The squash were harmless this morning. They're harmless tonight. The only thing that changed was the story people believed about them." I simply gave them a different story. The merchant stared at the coins in his hand. "Will the squash cure cholera?" "No," the monk said. "But neither did they cause it. The squash are just squash. It's the fear and hope people attach to them that gives them power. The squash didn't change. They were the same squash in the morning when no one would touch them, and in the evening when people fought to buy them. What changed was the story people told themselves about what the squash meant. This parable isn't really about squash. It's about how we create meaning where none exists, and how that meaning becomes our reality, whether it's true or not. The first rumor, squash causes cholera, had no basis in fact. But it didn't matter. Fear spread, and suddenly the squash were dangerous. The merchant's livelihood evaporated, not because anything real changed, but because people believed something had. The monk didn't fix the squash. He couldn't. There was nothing wrong with them. He fixed the story. He gave people a different narrative to attach their fear to, one that served them better. And just like that, the same squash became valuable again. We do this constantly. We take neutral circumstances and assign them meaning based on stories we've been told or stories we tell ourselves. Someone doesn't text back. We decide it means they're angry, or distant, or done with us. The meaning isn't in the silence. It's in the story we create about the silence. A job rejection means we're failures. A relationship ending means we're unlovable. Financial struggle means we've made irreversible mistakes. But these are just stories we're attaching to circumstances that are, in themselves, neutral. The squash are just squash. The uncomfortable truth of this parable is that the monk's lie worked just as well as the original rumor. Neither had anything to do with reality. Both created outcomes. And that's the point. We're not actually responding to reality most of the time. We're responding to the stories we believe about reality. This doesn't mean truth doesn't matter. It means when we're suffering, it's worth asking, what story am I telling myself about the situation? Is that story true? Or is it just the loudest rumor I've heard? Because if a rumor can ruin you, a different story can save you. Not by changing the facts, but by changing what the facts mean. The squash were always just squash. Your circumstances are what they are. But the story you tell about them, the meaning you assign, the narrative you build, that's the only part you control. And sometimes, changing the story is enough to change everything. The monk didn't make the squash magic. He made people believe they were. And belief, it turns out, is more powerful than squash could ever be. This has been Griefcraft. Thank you for listening.